So I think key for 2018 is going to be understanding what the implications are of Brexit. I think we've just very recently started to get some clarity on that, but businesses need an awful lot more clarity to be able to firm up their plans. In the absence of that clarity, then we might see some knee-jerk reactions, which I think ultimately will be bad for business. Hopefully that won't happen. Hopefully we've now got some traction, and yeah, I think 2018 should be another good year.
I just think the interim model is, the consultancies are under threat from the interim model. I'm convinced about that. Always have been convinced about that. So I think there's a big opportunity for particularly Sullivan Stanley to pivot into that world. You guys are getting great traction already, and I just think there's only going to be more of that, really.
I think the biggest single thing that companies need to do in 2018 is deliver. Commercial pressures like Brexit are putting more and more pressure on commercial pressures on companies like they've never seen before. You've got the advent of digital, you've got the advent of technology underpinning everything that companies do. But a lot of companies will say the CIO doesn't understand the rest of the business, they're not commercially focused. You need to deliver against the commercial pressures that you have. You need to hunker down, work out what your business needs, how does it need to solve the strategic objectives and deliver what it needs as a business. Take out technology, just look at what the issues are.
For a CIO who's working globally or certainly beyond Europe, I think nothing much changes. Some of those business plans will stay in place. I think it's those that are specifically relying on Europe that we probably need to home in on what the Brexit means for us. I know in some of the organisations I'm working with now, we are looking more introvertly, so we're looking at stabilising in the UK. That's a primary concern for next year, so that we can then tackle Europe in whatever state it is in around 2019, 2020, and that's a sensible approach.
I've been seeing the impact of attention spans, going back to Emma's piece, and I think that's going to be an issue for how to find and attract and keep the right people. It's going to be an issue for organisations that are saying digital, it's a big thing, we need to do transformation, and as soon as they recognise that's really quite hard work, they're going to pull it back into transformation light and possibly even less. So many column inches are going to be consecrated to Brexit. They are going to be looking at what on earth Trump in America is going to do. Companies throughout all of this have got to increase their productivity. They've got to find their mojo. They've got to find a way of changing their interactions with their customers. And the really hard thing about that is actually slow and painful.
From an organisation viewpoint, I think that 2018 could be the year where we start to see artificial intelligence take off. We've started at Sage to incorporate that into our products, and we got an assistant now in our products called Peg that helps that our customers actually do their accounting. But I think that we're going to see artificial intelligence actually becoming more dominant in companies, in products. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I think will happen.
I think there's going to be a much deeper schism between the technology people who are pure tech focused and those who are actually driving innovation and change. Where you would have had traditional IT directors or CIOs who were managing the keeping of the lights on and doing a bit of transformation, now lots of organisations are actually dividing those into two and having very deeply skilled technical people who are keeping the lights on, which is an incredibly valuable job, but actually they're separating out a lot of the transformational innovation and change piece, creating lots of different job titles around that. There are as many different job titles as there are organisations, and I think that if you are an IT director who is not prepared to embrace that and to realise that it's not just about the tin and the back end stuff, then that's going to be quite uncomfortable for you potentially. And I've seen that over the last 12 months developing quite a lot.